If you're actually going to communicate, then it's important that the other party listening understands you. That is when communication is complete.
Just study the environment before you just talk. You understand? And sometimes you have to control yourself before you bring out something.
I agree with you that you've had bad experiences with them. But I do not agree with you that a fractured mind cannot be fixed.
A woman can live in conflict and all will be well. A man cannot live in conflict and all. He will be messed up at his place of work, wherever he goes.
Men are a lot more emotional than women, but are not expressive.
Thank you very much, sir. Virtues and values are key attributes every family should possess to sustain happiness. Welcome to the Happy Family Podcast. I am Tokumbo Lady, fondly called Uncle Tokes, and we're right here in this pod with amazing family members. Please connect with us on our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, share, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we have, newer content. Of course, before we get to meet with other family members in this pod, yes, we'll be going on a short break and we'll be right back. Enjoy. Welcome back. It's still the Happy Family Podcast. Yes, we're chilling in this pod with amazing family members. Happy people.
Happy family!
Yes, we'll be getting to meet with our family members. Of course, people if you're just, watching this, podcast, then you get to meet with them. And we'd like you to know that this is probably, made possible by Prowess Pictures Limited. Yes, let me start to the amazing lawyer by my side.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you are watching us and wherever you're watching us from. I am Oluwayemisi, and today we bring to you a topic that I know you will love. Everyone is a part of a family, and we've grown to communicate in families. Some communications were bad, some good, but we'll be learning how to make it better today, and I hope you find this very insightful and educative. Thank you very much.
My name remains Olabisi. I've not changed my name. My name is still Olabisi. And what did you just say?
You're not changing. So
Okay. So I'm not changing my name. I've not changed my name. It still remains Olabisi. So you're welcome again. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon, this morning, this evening, this night, and whatever time you're watching us. Thank you, and stay tuned as always, as we'll be dropping contents that you would love. You don't want to touch that style.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
My fellow lovely Nigerians. Okay, it's your girl right here, Sassy Sarah Cleopatra from Nigeria, not Egyptian Cleopatra, Guys, it's good to be back. Good day to you all from Jamaica, India,
So that you're doing your hand like this.
Don't you see what
Russia,
I'm doing? I'm already giving
Italy,
advice. It's like,
US,
she goes like this.
Canada. We are saying good day to you all.
Okay.
We are back in the studio to give you the
It's
vibe.
Like one of our,
Yes, to give you the vibe. To give you the vibe. And, today's topic is going to be wow, because communication is a key in every home. So we are bringing you right from the oven. Like this table, we are putting it here. So it's going to come from our heart. You can also join the conversation wherever you are, okay? Let's rub our minds together and see how far we can go. Make sure you subscribe, okay? We love you. I love you more. Subscribe.
To rub stomach.
Join us on all our social media. And peace.
Okay.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa, ètò yín Ìdílé Aláyọ̀. Orúkọ mi ni Samuel, ẹ lè pè mí ní Papi Sam. Meaning that you're welcome to this show. Welcome and come and learn.
For you, so that after the show you pay me. What's this now?
For the non-Yoruba speaking viewers, welcome to this show,
God.
to this podcast
Yes, sir.
of today. If you delay nkan, if you can lady,
Put your
sit
bum
back,
on something.
enjoy. Call your friends all over where they are.
Call your
Nílé
neighbors.
lóko lódò lẹ́yìn odi. Call them to come and sit down. You will learn today,
In the back
and
of
it's
the
about.
OD.
It is about to be
Behind defense.
an awesome time. Thank you very much.
But wait, what's OD?
I'm Padabo.
Papi Sam, what's OD? Lẹ́yìn
Ẹ̀yìn
OD.
odi.
We'll
Like,
be right back. That's what you just said. We'll be
The
right
end of the city. That's outside the city. You know this in the city. You know they say something that orúkọ tó bá
The
wùn yàn
city
ní
wall.
èèyàn lè jẹ ní ẹ̀yìn odi. Outside the city wall. Or when you're outside the city where
see the-
where the people that knows you cannot see you. You
Cannot
can try
see.
to bear another name,
Another
another
name.
character. But when you come back home to the family,
oh.
so
That's
call
it.
everybody in the
That's why I said
abroad,
you can't
close,
change
near, call them together. The people in the abroad that she was calling, those are the people in the NOD.
Yeah.
So inside the OD is we that we are here.
In the back of the OD.
You know, I like when Sassy is doing introduction. She has this swag. You know, like that I actually like.
But this afternoon she added this.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. You know, we actually played gospel music before we started. So we have to praise God along with
God.
the introduction and all that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's so good to have each and every one of us here. I mean, it's an amazing time. We have a beautiful topic. Healthy family communication. Healthy family communication. Of course, so many homes are broken down because there is no proper communication in such families. Of course, we'll be learning a bit. It's important. Several, not just homes, relationships have actually broken down because there is no proper communication. So we're going to be learning a whole lot from the amazing, folks we have here. Yes. How do we start? Family members.
I think we should first define what makes communication healthy. You know, in a previous episode, we talked about communication. We hinted on different types, like we ran around it. So, what is communication again, and then what makes it healthy? You know,
Communication is dictionary way, act of expressing your heart to another person.
okay.
In a way that the person would understand.
The law. What is the legal definition of communication? Legally.
What's legal about communication? I don't understand.
There's legal
Communication is
communication.
simple
There's a
English.
communication in the court of law,
Communication is simple
now.
English.
and there's there is one they say outside the court of law.
Okay,
There's some
except you want us-
grammars you use in the court of law that we don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. I will state one thing that I feel is important in communication.
Okay.
If you're actually going to communicate, then it's important that the other party listening understands you. That is when communication is complete. If the other party does not understand what you're communicating, then you are not actually communicating.
Now you remind me of myself, my university on a level definition of communication. They will say that communication is when the listener understand what the speaker is saying. So it is established when the listener understand the speaker. That's what we used to define it. You see that listener and speaker, if it's not there, you are fake. So write in the definition.
Okay, so we are saying that healthy communication now is understanding. Because for you to have a healthy communication, there needs to be an understanding between the two parties. Because without understanding, I don't think you and I can.
If
you
you don't
know.
understand each other, then there's no communication in the actual
That's
sense.
what I'm saying.
Then I think that's the first step, the
Yeah,
understanding.
understanding.
Then if it's going to be healthy, I think there are some other factors that we should consider.
Yes.
Sort of, okay, for instance, the tone of communication could make a communication healthy or unhealthy.
And there must be
If I'm shouting, my communication
content of
might
communication.
not be healthy.
Yes.
The tone of communication, the content of the
Thank you very
communication,
much.
Of the communication.
the environment where the communication is done.
Facial expression for me.
Yeah.
So someone like me, I read in between the lines. Yes, body language is a form of communication. Of course. Yes, and I can tell by looking at people's faces because I'm an expressive person. My wife, at times she'll just come. Maybe I'm in the room, a parlor or somewhere. She'll come, look at my face, trying to read what's happening to me, to decipher what is going on. And she'll make a statement. She'll just say this. So if I don't want her to read me, then I hide my face.
Expression. Coming down to that, I remember my son in church. They gave them something, the snacks and all that, children department and all that. And he wanted to open it, so I just gave him a look. Like,
Bombastic side eye.
and he knows what the look is. So I just gave him, I didn't need to say anything. So it's not all about talking.
Of course.
Like you said,
non-verbal
facial
cues.
Thank you.
But
So
some children will
imagine
not
I
collect
give him
the
that
face,
look. Yes, some children might
No,
not.
it
But it depends on the training.
you have
depends on
given
For
the
example, let's do
child.
example. Wait.
It
When
depends
you
on
do
the
eyes
training.
like that, so I'm just saying, Mommy, is something wrong with the eyes? Are you okay?
A friend of mine
Exactly.
actually, their mom had told
Exactly.
them from the house that, okay, this party we are
Yes.
going to, you guys must not eat. So they got there and she said she saw many things, fried rice, all sorts of things.
Tempting.
Like we will know it. Then they now came to offer her food. She looked at her mom. Her mom looked at her. Her mom was still. Then she now said, Mommy, should we eat? Mommy, should we eat in the presence of everybody? And they were her cousins. So the mother did not even have any option.
An
So
embarrassment.
if children don't want to take your verbal cues, you're on your own. No. I think you're not
They will
verbal
play
cues.
smart on you.
I think
They
that
will
that
look for a
was
way
harsh.
around it.
If I don't want them to eat, then I wouldn't want to take them there.
Exactly. That's
I think
the
so.
reason.
Exactly.
I think
Because
so.
that's true.
That
Because
would
it's
be
like
tough.
you're going to go and
Why
punish
are you
them
going
where
there
you
in the
have
first place?
fried rice, turkey.
Okay.
But another way is to stuff them up before you go.
Even if you stuff them up, children
them up.
No, they are
children is
children.
like
They are children.
children, I beg.
So it's just like
When
you
they get
taking
there, they
them
will
there to
see
go and punish
others.
them.
Yeah.
And you're playing on their emotions. So because
Really?
how can I see a whole lot of things and at the end of the day, my
Best
mommy
bet
they
they
tell
should
me
not
say
go.
make I
Now
go
now
chop.
do I
Wetin
for
be that?
check.
Allow.
Mommy, is
Don't
something
go
wrong
do
with
that
your eyes?
thing.
Are you okay?
I'm
So
hungry.
we've looked at tone of the
Tone,
voice, facial
expression.
expression, body
Yeah,
language.
yeah.
Looked at
Content of
speaking,
communication.
content.
Looking at the tone, come down to children. Communication. If you maybe kind of like, okay, I use my children as a sample because they can be very funny. My 4-year-old, if you tell him, James, drop that thing. Do you want me to spank you? You just look at you and smile. I'm like, why are you smiling? He said, oh, you're not going to beat me. You get? So if you do that to children, most of them might see you. I've seen mommy now. Mommy will just shout and then forget about
Because
it.
I used to.
Do you
shout
get?
now.
They are used
Because
to
they
it.
feel you shout every
Yeah.
time. If
They
you
feel
don't shout every time,
So what I do most of the time, I'll just come down and say, please just leave that thing now, please. And most of the time, if I put please, he will just leave it and go. But if I shout,
So I put some respect on my
exactly.
name.
So if I shout, he looks at me, he will smile, and he will go back there. He will look at me, and you're not going to beat. I'm like, thank God.
you see, one thing
Do you get
I've
so?
come to realize about communicating with children is you don't get to shout at them always. It has to be that thing really needs for you to like shout.
Yes.
Possible.
Yeah,
No
if
yelling
if
at
it's
all.
possible not to yell.
Because once they
No
get used to
yelling
it,
at all.
Because once
Like my
they get
son
used
is
to
used to
it,
it.
they see it as a norm, something you do every
It's
now and
normal,
then, and
yeah.
they cannot even clarify between when you want them to actually you want to pass a message across and
Them.
when you just want them to
You know,
leave
there are
something.
levels of children. No? You see those toddlers. Their ears is just for decoration.
What? Those what?
Toddlers.
Toddlers.
That their ears for decoration. Don't go there. That is
their
where they'll
angel.
go.
Is their angel.
Oh, no.
The day their angel will decide to listen, they will listen.
Ah.
But if their angel
Oh,
does
no,
not want
no,
to
no.
listen, they will not listen to you.
So how then do you communicate to toddlers and make sure that they hear?
Like you study them now. Like she said something. She said when she shouts, when she yell, the child wouldn't really listen. But when she puts this word, please, you just get to study what.
Their language.
Yeah. You just have
Like
to
in school.
study their language.
Like in
Yeah.
school, like an early years teacher I am and all that. What I do, because you have them in different, like these children, they will just bring them to you. You have the good, the bad. I'm not going to say the good, the bad, the ugly, but they all have their characters. And they all have, like I said, their years are just there. Most of them, I don't know whether it's for fancy or it's just there.
Yeah, for now.
You will tell them something, they will just look at you like, most of them you think they are not listening to you. They are listening to you.
They actually understand.
They understand you. But most of them will just want to step on your toes.
Yes. They want to
Just
see what you want to do.
bring out the other side. They want to see whether the other side of you is there. Like pinch you.
Do you know that was always my
Do you get?
That pinching.
A child, there's this child, he can write number 1. All of a sudden, he just stop writing. He can write. All of a sudden, he just stop writing in class. And I'm like, Cholo, what's the problem? Me, I was thinking, what demon from his face?
Came upon you.
We got to a point. I started praying in class so that I will not be affected. Do you understand? What's the problem? Me that used to watch horror movie. Did you get? He just looked at me and like, what's the problem? I said, okay, you don't want to write. But all of a sudden, I remember there was one day, for a whole week, he did not.
Right.
Right. He didn't want to do anything. So what I did, I just got back and I told my husband, just find another means. It might just be, just look for another means. So I went to the class. I was just looking at this child. So what I did, I just dragged him close to me. I put him on my leg. And I put my 2 hands on his shoulders. And I'm like, Tolu, hey, my baby, my baby. You know we used to write 1 to 20 now. Should I dance for you? Should I dance for you? That's when I started. As I was shaking, I was dancing in class. I was shaking, I was dancing. I noticed he was moving. Hey, Tolu, my baby. So when I did that, I noticed he now turned around and smiled at me. Do you know why he was not writing? I carry other children. It's 4 years. Others are 3 years, 2 years plus in class. It's 4 years. So I don't carry him on my lap, on my legs for him to write. So he locked up. In his mind, like, why are you carrying other children too? Do you get? So exactly. So he writes by himself. So I allow him write by himself. Do you get?
That's the only way he could have
So I said,
expressed himself.
do you want to write? And guess what he said? He said, will you carry me on your leg? I said, really? You want me to carry you on my lap? He said, yes. I said, oh, why didn't you say that now? And I thought you don't like me anymore. And when I said, he said, no, I like you. Will you carry? I will write if you carry me on your leg.
Can't just imagine.
I carried him till he left my class.
Another teacher would have beaten him.
Do you
blue,
get? So
possibly beaten him
communication
blue
and
black.
all that.
True.
These
Yeah.
are early years.
It
So
was
that's what I
because
said.
You took your time to
I
study the
know.
child and fix problems. Some
That's
teachers will
what
not.
Montessori is all about. You need to understand it. You need to come.
What about parents?
Talk.
She's even a teacher.
What about the parents?
Parents
What
are
about
not
so
teaching
communication
that.
with
Yeah.
these students?
Yes.
It's
Parents
very
tend
important.
to even have a shorter fuse, in my own opinion.
Yes.
I think
yes,
some
yes.
teachers try better.
But
Yes,
I
yes.
think in addition, please, you contribute what you want to say, but I think in addition to that, I think children a lot of times take their parents for granted. But when they get
Because
to
Especially
school,
their mothers, in my own opinion.
when they get to school, they comport themselves.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Especially
Yes,
their mothers. Because my daughter, for instance, will
That's-
not argue with her dad.
That's why if you
Oftentimes
see
will
what I
not.
posted the
But
last
when
time.
it's me,
If you see what I posted the last time
is
on,
well.
on my status, because I got this complaint a lot. If you check my status, like is it yesterday or 2 days ago, that parents need to be authoritative at home with their children. If you don't show them that you have the authority over them, they will ride on you and they will not do anything.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
So there should be playtime. There should be time that you
course.
tell them, I'm the boss.
And you
I have
do
the
what I
authority
say,
over
actually.
you. So if you don't show them that, they will not listen to you.
Definitely.
Most students take their homework home and bring it back to school.
And I
Mom,
think
why did not allow me? Do you get? It's not there. So you need to study your children. You need to be the boss over them. The authority needs to be there. Show them that you have the authority. Because these children, they know when you talk to them. They know what is right. They know what is wrong.
And I think part of what happens when communication goes wrong is there is a lot of beating. I think we should talk about that actually. When parents feel like they are not in charge or they feel overwhelmed that they cannot get across what they want their children to do, or even spouses, it turns to beating. That is what
beating wrong. I mean, spanking.
No.
Let me use that word.
Spanking
I'm
and beating
I'm
are two
trying
different words.
Oh, really?
I'm trying
In my
I'm trying
opinion.
to I don't know. Maybe we should define spanking and beating
Abi.
differently. But let me talk as regards spouses now. The husband is talking, wants his wife to understand something he's saying, and the wife keeps misunderstanding, or vice versa. Sometimes it turns to fisticuffs. Like, I've said this over and over, and you are doing this and that, and at the end of the day,
But
they
I
throw
feel,
punches.
I feel the way you communicate determines the result you're going to get. Just like the tone you just used. I've been saying this over and over. You understand? That tone would not make somebody, because
Always, but finish your thoughts.
it might not make the other person, because you don't, before you communicate, sometimes I feel you should read the emotions on ground, or you should check the atmosphere before you communicate. Yeah, sometimes, not every time, sometimes you want to communicate immediately, but sometimes, depending on what you want to bring out, just study the environment before you just talk. You understand? And sometimes you have to control yourself before you bring out something. Just like, okay, you're coming in and the whole house is scattered, and like, let me say this happened to me. Like, my husband is coming home most of the time. Whenever he's coming home, he doesn't like that the whole house is scattered. But I can bet with you, I have arranged that house more than 4 times, especially when the children are on holiday. I have arranged that house. I have swept that house more than 6 times, because even myself, I don't like stepping on dirt. I don't like it. So I have arranged that house several times, and even them, I have told them, put your toys back where it's supposed to be. Now he came in and he saw that the whole place is, and he just flare up that, I've told you, what if I'm bringing visitor? What? I'm like, what's my own business with visitor you are bringing? Yeah, it happens.
Yes,
You
because
understand? Because
at
at
that
that
time,
time, my brain
yes,
is telling me,
the atmosphere at
Yeah.
that
The
time.
other party has been working.
my brain is
actually.
telling me, do you know how many times I've arranged
done
this
this thing
place,
today.
and you are now coming from outside and telling me that you are bringing visitor?
As
What's my
though you
business?
were
That's
sitting
why
all
the
I will
day.
even,
communication at
I will
that
even
time
tell him at that
will
time,
not work.
the visitors, they don't have children in their house, abi, okay, oboya agan ni wọ́n gbà yẹn, and that can actually
Yeah.
bring up so many things.
Yes.
Sure, you understand?
true.
But then again,
Now let me
No,
before
she's
you
not
go
done,
to
she's not
okay,
done.
but then again,
He's
okay,
not done.
so but then again, sometimes when he says that, I just like, mo ti arrange ilé yẹn, I use I've arranged it.
down,
I
yeah.
use a lower tone, and that's just the end. But now I've realized that when he's coming back, he has now realized that, there was a day I told him that we were playing, and I told him that most of the time when you are coming from outside and you are like, the house is scattered there, do you even consider that this person might have arranged this house? You stay with these children on weekends, and you know how many times you arrange, because is this person that when he puts something here and you lift it a little, he knows. You just lift it, he knows.
my brother.
He knows. So I told him that day, do you know how many, do you even consider if I have arranged that house many times? And so I realized that over the time, he started, when he's coming back from outside and he met the house scattered, he will just pick whatever he wants to pick. And afterwards, he can now say that Bokodabile, the house is not looking good that way the other time I came in. And that time I cannot flare up, except I'm mad. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that time we'll just talk about it. And do you know that I've arranged that house before you came in the other time? I've arranged it. It's this girl that scattered it. And that's just, I feel there's, both of us were able to realize that, okay, it's not about coming and shouting, and me too, it's not about me giving you the way you just gave it back to me. Yeah.
In a flash, you seem like the guest, and they were all listening to you, like we're asking questions because you're not here. But I want to say 2 things. In communication, there is a place of being deliberate. So I can decide not to listen to you, even if you're communicating the right way, and I can decide to listen to you.
Yeah.
True. And there's also the part of me knowing that, this is how my wife communicates, and I choose to always douse that effect all the time. They are both deliberate attempts. So what I'm saying is, if somebody is going to be communicating the right way, if the speaker is going to be speaking the right way, then the listener should also listen and hear the right things. because in my work experience, I've seen people I just want to listen to, no matter how he says it.
Some people even communicate rightly and the other person decides to listen wrongly.
Wrongly.
Someone used to tell me, will say that you know how to talk and others know how to listen. The meaning is everybody will interpret anything you say
Yes, that's what
the
I
way
wanted
they
to say.
want.
The
So,
interpretation is different.
the success of this conversation is to highlight these things and make sure that people deliberately listen and also deliberately communicate the right way. And also, if you now are now, if you're now, I would say, if you're now graced to have someone that is always communicating the wrong way or coming with the tension or the emotion all the time, then your job is to douse that effect. So the more you douse, the better they learn and they also get improved. So that means you're going to rub off on them eventually and they're going to learn. Sometimes some people find it tough to learn, and which
egos
is
are
which
bruised.
yeah which most times is due to their background. Maybe the guy is from a home where the parents shout on each other, they talk aggressively. If they are talking here, you hear from far away. That's the way they are. And you are from the calm, collected, reserved home. So if you're going to rub off on him, each time he comes with that tension, you douse it all the time, and then someday you just realize that he's learning from you subconsciously. And for me, when it comes to communication, it's very sensitive in the sense that some people just choose to be difficult in listening, and they'll let you know that I'm just choosing not to hear you out. So the balance is that I'm always looking for balance in things here. So the balance is that we are deliberate in hearing as much as we're deliberate in speaking as well, so that everybody goes home smiling
So it
at the end
takes
of the
two
day.
to tango.
Exactly.
It takes a husband and a wife to decide to learn to communicate properly. Yes, and know that look, it takes. Yes, I realized that. I think we in an episode we talked about. I think it was one of the episodes. I think it was some time back. We talked about respect and love. That when the woman is refusing to respect her, but can the man choose? Yeah, it was Lloyd I was talking about here. That can the man choose to love? Yeah. So it takes two to create a balance, right? And like you said, there are people that can be pretty difficult. For example, I've had experiences where you are trying to convey a message, but it's misconstrued. It's twisted. And you now start regretting, why did I say that? Whereas what you said was not harmful in any way.
That is
nothing wrong.
gaslighting.
Yeah.
For every word you say, they use it against you.
They use it against you. So you just choose to stay quiet, not because you agree with what's happening.
You are trying to stay out of trouble.
Just staying out of trouble. And I mean, if that's now happening between a husband and a wife, then you know that marriage is crumbling.
So
Now going
I have a
to
question.
Yeah.
okay.
Can parents actually communicate without spanking? Let me use the word spanking.
That's where I'm heading to.
All
So
right.
there's a way you communicate with your children, and you make them feel like they're adults and they can't listen to you. So maybe because it's part of what I do, sometimes I find 2-3 years old we sit and say, "So how are you? What did you do today?" And we'll talk, and the child will be eager to talk and talk and talk and talk. And one thing my mom used to do for us is when we've done something wrong, she won't flog right away. She will say, "You do 1 hour lecture. What you did, why it is wrong, and why you cannot go unpunished, and why if she punishes you, what it brings to you, she would explain to you. It can be even be more than 1 hour. We'll do that lecture. After that,
at the end of the day, you're going to be flogged.
sometimes the way the lecture will go, you think, she won't flog me today, and then she just comes back to the point of lie down flat. So she doesn't flog hand or leg. She beats you at the back. She flogs you there, and then at the end of the day, you learn. And then most of the times, it just pretty much puts me in caution that I can't always do this thing. And then by the time we have those lectures in class, I'll not tell my friend, if you do that thing, this is what it leads to. This is how you make people feel low. It's not good though,
You
Eventually,
became an adult as a child.
Before you spank children or before you give them punishment, let them know the consequences of what they've done. Lecture them, like you said, talk to them about it. Let them know what they've done.
But what if that child?
Even if that child is 3 years old.
What if that child? Yes.
As they ought, make I give you back.
That's where
As they ought now.
wait, that's where patient comes in.
that gratification.
That's where
to
patient
spank
comes
a child.
in. Yes, to delay.
Because they will
Because-
never get the message.
Because
They
if I
won't
did
get
not
it.
spank
At
that
that
time,
moment.
if I did not spank that time, and I'm
You can't
lecturing,
spank- you can't
I'm
spank
doing
it.
lecture,
I understand.
it go pay me.
I know.
I won't be able to
I've been,
do
I've
that.
been there. I've been there. I have 4 of
Let
them.
us
I've
spank
been
first,
there.
then we can
What I mean,
we
I've been
can
there.
start doing
I know.
wasu
I
later.
understand.